is really a matter of perception. My dad's from Brazil and we lived in Germany. So whenever we would go to Brazil and visit relatives, they all thought we were filthy rich. So they all expected us to bring a lot of gifts and to pick up the tab and pay for the bill, when in reality, my parents were in debt and had to worry about how to pay for the mortgage and how to make ends meet. But we lived in a different country, and even though we had absolutely more money, relatively, we were not richer or poorer than the people in Brazil. The fourth thing I learned was that having extra money doesn't just happen. You have to actually plan for it. My roommate in college would always buy certain dried foods at the beginning of the month in case she would run out at the end that she could at least eat. Even though at the time I thought it was a little extreme, she was totally right. If you don't manage your money up front, you'll just spend it. At least that's what I do and most people I know. If you never plan to set aside money for an emergency up front, chances are it'll hit you very hard and it'll have very drastic consequences. Well, that means you have to be very deliberate about your money, you have to set yourself a budget and then chop the money off right when you get paid in the beginning, otherwise it's just not gonna happen. The fifth thing I learned was that you can buy pretty much anything secondhand or vintage or at a deal. And honestly, until I was in my 20s, pretty much everything I bought was either on sale at a store, it was a hand-me-down from someone, or it was a vintage item. Even though I got certain outfit elements that were quite a bit bolder and not the foundational wardrobe pieces, including the shirt I'm wearing here right now, I still have a lot of the items from that period that I still wear today because they have a certain timeless character to it that allows me to wear them now, but also 10 years from now. At the time, I always focused on great value, finding handmade garments that no one else knew because I didn't have a certain brand name, but they fit me somewhat and just made me feel good. Even though I was relatively poor, I always felt I could buy stuff on eBay, and since it was so inexpensive, I could justify it. But if I take a step back now, I can see that I spent a lot of money on a lot of stuff, none of which was a foundational wardrobe piece. And because of that, I had to end up giving a lot of it away and selling it. And basically, it was almost like an addiction where I spent the little money I had on eBay trying